Welcome to episode 4 of Who Are You? The Bobcats You Know, the stories you don't. My name is Joel Vanner, and I am joined today by Quinn Guth. Quinn, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So Quinn, let's get started today by having you tell us a little bit about your journey to Quinnipiac. I hear it's quite an interesting one.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. The short story is basketball, and it really starts in high school with wanting to play Division I basketball somewhere in this crazy collegiate world. And it starts with Immaculate High School in Danbury, Connecticut, which is right around where I'm from. I spent 3 years there, just school and basketball, which ultimately led me around my junior year to decide that I wanted to play Division I basketball somewhere. And that led to playing with the New York Lightning, which is a basketball team out of the Bronx. And their coaches kind of pushed prep school on me, which was kind of a foreign concept at the time for me. But that led me to Kimball Union Academy, where I actually ended up repeating my junior year. So my joke is that high school was the best 5 years of my life. So I spent 2 years in New Hampshire, kind of through the midst of COVID, playing prep school basketball, which if you're kind of in the basketball industry, know that some of the best names in college basketball come from what they call the NEPSAC. So I was fortunate enough to spend 2 years with a great coach there, just playing and kind of learning the crazy landscape of prep school basketball and ultimately how that kind of leads to collegiate basketball. So I dealt with a torn ACL in my time there and COVID, which recruiting-wise was rough, but ultimately was able to send kind of my transcripts and my tape out and get a few coaches on the phone and ultimately be offered a walk-on spot here at Quinnipiac.
That's awesome.
Leads me here today.
Yeah. Basketball led you here to Quinnipiac. You are the class of 2024. You're getting your MBA this year. You were in the finance program. Tell me a little bit about the academic side of things and what led you to finance.
Yeah, basketball led me here, and I think now I just kind of credit basketball as something I do, and then kind of business is something that I'm going to be doing. But finance-wise is kind of where my passion was, and I kind of learned that through my time at Quinnipiac. When I came in as a freshman, I came in as an accounting major, took a few Big Four, right, EY and Deloitte interviews, and felt that accounting maybe wasn't just for my personality. Really appreciated those companies for kind of spending some time with me and telling me what they do day to day. But I just, after some time, I said, you know what, but finance may be more of my personality. Accounting may not be. So I ended up switching my major after a conversation with our previous basketball coach, Coach Baker Dunleavy, who was here my freshman and sophomore year. I walked into his office because he was a former Merrill Lynch guy. So he worked on Wall Street for a bit and just ended up asking him, I said, hey, what is finance like? What's that industry like? And he ended up kind of just selling me on finance without actually having to sell me. He said, it's fast paced. You're constantly dealing with clients. It's almost like being in a locker room day to day, working with people and kind of that atmosphere of, something may happen today that's good or bad, but you kind of wipe the scoreboard at the end of the day, and tomorrow's a new day with new problems and new potential to either make money, lose money, close deals, open deals. So I walked away from that conversation being really enthralled with finance to the point that I actually ended up changing my major and just kind of running with all of Quinnipiac's essentials to finance and falling in love with it and hopefully making a career of it here with their help.
Yeah, and that led you to the Game Forum, right, which is the largest student-run financial conference, right? I have that right?
That is right. That is the tagline, and that is what I'm in charge of this year, the chair of. We're heading into our 14th game, and like you said, it's the largest student-run conference, finance conference. GAME stands for Global Asset Management Education, too. So there's kind of a little bit of play on words there. And
that's in New York City, right?
Yeah, yep. Correct. Right in the heart of Manhattan, right in the heart of finance and the mecca of New York City. So, heading into the 14th one, we got a really good volunteer group of about 50 students that I've been working with and for the past couple months to kind of start preparing for this conference, which goes down first week in April. So we're excited for that. We have some really great speakers coming in that are really notable in the finance industry and the finance world. So we bring right around 1,000 to 1,200 students from about over 100 universities. So
wow.
Yeah, it's definitely growing, and I'm just lucky to be a part of it this year, and I've kind of been a part of it for years past.
And you're the chair. You're the chair this year. How do you balance that with your basketball responsibilities? That must be a lot.
Yeah, it definitely is. I said I actually just had a cousin who had his third baby, and so I ended up texting him and being like, congratulations. I said, you must hate sleep.
Yeah.
and with 3 little ones running around. And he goes, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," kind of. So I've been telling people that a lot recently because I like that quote. But I said, you just learn how to manage it. I said, I've always been the type of person that likes to put more on their plate and then just kind of figure out how to do it. And I'd also be naive to say that there's not a great group of people around me to make this all work, from the volunteer group at Game to the director of Game, Dr. Killich, to the dean of the business school, Dean Rader, to, coaches on the basketball team, just kind of helping me manage everything, to my teammates, even to my family. So I said, I may look like I'm doing a lot, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes that are making sure things get done day to day for me and are also keeping me, in check.
Right. Takes a team, right? Teamwork, I think, follows between both of those, the Game Forum and basketball. When you first got started in the Game Forum, before you came chair, how did you get started in the Game Forum and work your way up to be the chair?
Yeah, I guess a lot of my story in general is just sports leading to things in the business world. And honestly, I have to credit one of my former teammates. His name's Brendan Martin. He was a 3+1 in his MBA year when I was coming in as a freshman. And he was a finance 3+1 guy on the basketball team who was also a part of Game at the time. And, him almost taking me under his wing to a point in my freshman year and just telling me about Game was something that, again, I became enthralled with. I said, that sounds great, like a great resume builder, and also a club that when you think about getting involved, that I could get behind, become passionate about. So he knew a few people within Game and kind of connected me with them. And then I learned more about the club and then was able to join actually the next year, join Game. And then obviously being in the club and being kind of in the weeds of the day-to-day of the club and hearing more about it. And then actually getting to go to New York City and see Game Forum put on right in the heart of New York, wearing a suit, walking around, listening to some of the best minds in Game and in the finance world just kind of speak about things they were knowledgeable about. I really felt that that was something for me and something I really wanted to sink my teeth into and get more involved in. So,
yeah. So you're a Division I basketball player. You're chair of the Game Forum. You must have a lot going on. Tell us what a typical day is like and how you manage all of it.
Yeah, day-to-days are busy, some more than others. I think kind of in the heat of it now with basketball going on and March Madness around the corner, and also Game Forum kind of picking up here too as that kicks off the first week in April. Said it's busy. A typical day for me will look like waking up, early, 7, 8 o'clock, studying a little bit for classes or a few exams I have to take for my job coming up here. Maybe sending a few emails out, structuring a few things for Game, whether that's in Excel or Word or whatever's going on there. And then usually I'm up and out of the house for practice around 11 o'clock, kind of at the arena around 11 for usually 12 o'clock start time for practice. Then between practice, lift, maybe film, recovery, whatever that kind of entails, or potentially a game, right, if we're playing. I said I'll usually get home around 5, 6 o'clock, which usually takes me to a night class from about 6 to 9:30. And then, I can kind of managing emails throughout the day, or when I do get home at the end of the day, I'm usually blasting out a few more emails or kind of setting up for the next day or studying a little bit more or doing some homework. So I said it's a busy day, but get it all done.
And on some days, travel in there too, and managing all that too. That's a lot.
Yeah, some days we were doing all of that from the hotspot on my phone, on a laptop, on a bus headed to wherever in the conference we're playing that day. So
I know you've touched on it a little bit already. How have these experiences helped you grow as you're looking to what life beyond Quinnipiac will turn into?
Yeah. Again, I'm just a giant believer in that the business world and the sports world go hand in hand. So just through basketball, right, you learn how to work with a team. You learn how to be a leader. You know the qualities of showing up early and leaving late, of outworking the person next to you. And kind of in my short term of being a businessman and kind of figuring out what I wanted to do with my life in the world of business, I've just come to see that all those qualities and characteristics apply. They just apply in a different sense in the business world. So I said was lucky enough to work an internship this past summer with a company. And I just kind of found, right, if you show up a little bit earlier than everybody else, you stay a little bit later. If you constantly ask like what you could be doing better, and you just put all the characteristics that you kind of learn on a basketball court or in life through sports, I said it kind of takes care of itself in the business sense to a part.
Yeah. So you have quite a connected story how basketball led you to Quinnipiac, led you to finance, and led you to the game forum as well. You mentioned you had an internship over the summer. What is next for you?
Yeah, right. And it's crazy that you're asking that question because, everyone says college goes by so quickly. And to think now, right, that I'm headed into the working world and, college is going to be kind of in my rearview mirror is crazy to think about. But yeah, like you said, basketball kind of led me to finance. Finance led me to games kind of helped lead me to a job too, to a point. And so what's next for me is I'm headed to Manhattan, headed right back to where games started, to work for KeyBank in their sales and trading department.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, really excited and have to thank a ton of people at Quinnipiac and kind of in my life too that helped me get there. Again, I'm a big believer, right, that sports and finance go hand in hand. So I think a lot of the sports world helped me get there, and obviously the people within Quinnipiac and within finance played a large part in that. So I'm excited for what's next. I'm very thankful to Quinnipiac for helping me get there, and ultimately, right, finance in the world and everything that kind of entails is coming here shortly. So I'm excited for it.
And you've been so well connected to the hub, right? New York, so close to Quinnipiac with Game Forum, and cool that you'll be back there for this job.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a place to go work in finance, right? It's New York City. So again, very thankful to KeyBank for accepting me into their internship program and then, offering me a return letter. I'm thankful to Quinnipiac for kind of helping set that up too. And, coaches and mentors even before college, kind of helping me find a love of basketball and create all the characteristics that it takes to be successful in the basketball world that have going to translate over here to the business world here soon. I'm just thankful, and definitely takes a village, and I'm a product of that village.
You've had a lot of mentors, I think, along the way, a lot of teams. If you could give advice to somebody who is looking to balance athletics and involvement, or even just find some way to get started in involvement in a way that you have and gotten great involvement, what advice would you give someone who's looking for that?
Yeah, I always say, do what you love and love what you do and love who you do it with. For me, it wasn't so much about managing everything. It was finding stuff that I was passionate about. Like, I love basketball. I love game forum. I love getting an education. I love other things I do on campus. So for me, it's never felt like work so much as it's felt like I'm contributing to a community that invested in me, and also that I'm getting to do stuff, right? It's not that, I have to go to basketball practice. I have to run game forum. I have to, go to class. It's all stuff that I like doing, all stuff that I'm passionate about, all stuff that I know is benefiting me for later in life too. And the other part of it is that the people I do it with are great. I said I generally enjoy being around my teammates for 4, 5, 6 hours a day of going on road trips with them. The volunteers in game club, I said, from the interview process of when I get to meet them to the end of the year when I'm thanking them for all their hard work, like I get to know who they are, what their dreams are. If I can help them or provide advice to them, maybe for their business ideas or once down the line too, like being someone like Brendan Martin was to me, I said, it's really just something that I enjoy doing and something that at the end of the day doesn't feel like work.
Awesome. Well, Quinn, thank you so much for joining me today. Good luck with the game forum. It's awesome to see it every year and how it grows, and just the work that's put behind it. It's really incredible.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That is a wrap for today's episode of Who Are You? If you like today's episode, be sure to find us wherever you get your favorite podcasts, Apple or YouTube. Don't forget to like and share. And until next time, when I ask my next guest, who are you? I'm Joel Vanner. Goodbye.